Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder seem a lot more confident that their fight will take place either this year or next year. It seems like they both want to get in the ring, and Deontay Wilder seems like he's keen to fight Anthony Joshua finally. Eddie Hearn is very happy and he wants to make the deal. George Foreman has weighed in and said it is quite possibly the biggest fight in world boxing history, which I think it is. It's going to be an incredible fight. I just hope the fight can get made. Now, we have an opportunity here because hopefully Deontay Wilder will not fight Luis Ortiz next. That is rumoured to be his next opponent, and a deal could be in place, but I hope not. I hope Deontay Wilder has not gone down that route, because he needs to fight AJ next. I think you will all agree. And I think Deontay Wilder has sailed us far enough down the river with his claims that he wants to fight Anthony Joshua. He now has to step up to the plate and actually do it. And to be fair, the way he has been talking quite recently is very positive, so hopefully he is actually going to get in the ring with Anthony Joshua. We know Anthony Joshua has wanted this fight. He's always wanted to add the WBC belt to his collection. It's a tough fight for AJ, but not impossible. I believe AJ can beat Deontay Wilder. He just has to be very careful in there and not get hit by that right hand. But the exciting thing for now is the fact that this fight is probably going to happen. I honestly did not believe this fight was going to take place. I thought that Deontay Wilder was going to milk it for all it was worth to build his own fights and cherry pick his way through the heavyweight division. But I'm starting to believe maybe he might take the fight. I'm starting to believe that he's being more positive towards the situation. And maybe he actually wants to get in there and unify all of the belts with Anthony Joshua. Regardless of the fact that I think he will probably lose, but still, he is willing to get in there, and I hope he is a man of his word because he said it will happen, and he said he's going to give the fans what they want. It has been long enough in the waiting now, so he will be getting in there with Anthony Joshua. The question is, when? Well, there is a great possibility that it can happen later this year, with Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder having two fights now quite close together. So they both will have enough rest period and enough time to get into camp and train to prepare. I'm guessing that would mean December, or probably April next year. It depends whether Deontay Wilder takes the Luis Ortiz fight. It's a pointless fight in my opinion. I don't see why he would want to get back in there with Luis Ortiz. It's pointless really. I mean, it is a risk in some ways, but why fight Luis Ortiz again? You've already beat him. And Anthony Joshua, that fight is there. That fight is ready to be made now. This year or early next year. That is when this fight must take place. Because otherwise, Deontay Wilder, he could lose to Luis Ortiz. And to be honest, where he is getting on, he's going to be 34 later this year, he is going to start deteriorating. And believe me guys, fighters grow old overnight. Sometimes they even grow old in the ring between rounds. I have seen that happen to many fighters before. Hopefully it does not happen to Deontay Wilder before Anthony Joshua can get in there with him and fight it out, see who's the best of our era in the heavyweight division. Now there is a certain someone also that is in the mix. Certain two other heavyweights that are in the mix actually. Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury. Anthony Joshua said he will not fight Dillian Whyte before he fights Deontay Wilder because Dillian Whyte had his opportunity to fight on April 13th and he turned it down, and now will be facing Oscar Rivas. It is unlikely that Dillian Whyte will get his opportunity to avenge his only career loss and fight for the unified heavyweight titles against Anthony Joshua before Anthony Joshua gets in there with Deontay Wilder. Now Tyson Fury, I believe he has had an opportunity to fight both Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. He had an opportunity to fight Deontay Wilder in a rematch, but turned it down because he had a big money deal from ESPN. And the Anthony Joshua fight, I believe he was offered that fight for April 13th as well as Dillian Whyte, but he turned it down. 60-40 I believe he was offered, yet that wasn't good enough for him. He believed he was worth 50-50. So they both have had their opportunities. Now it's time for them to step aside and hopefully we can have the undisputed fight. Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. Guys, what are your thoughts on this fight? When do you believe it will be made? Or do you believe it will not be made at all? Please drop your thoughts in the comments below, please like the video and subscribe for more content. Thank you guys.